Professional wrestling is a chaotic industry, and that's not just found within your WWEs and your AEWs. In fact, I'd argue that the wrestling world outside is far more chaotic. And the chaos of wrestling is widespread. It's completely widespread and can be found in any wrestling market in the world, and the world of Lucha Libre is no different. Today we're going to be discussing some infamous and dark moments from the world of Lucha Libre and Mexican wrestling. Before we begin the video, subscribe right now for some good lucha things, and let's get into the video. Angel O Demonio is a name you probably hadn't heard of, and also a name that I have probably absolutely butchered, and you probably haven't heard of this name unless you're a hardcore Lucha Libre fan, or, like me, know about the incident that I'm about to discuss. Angel debuted in 1987, and according to Cage Match, his entire career he never wrestled outside of Mexico. He only ever made one appearance for AAA, and he made 3 appearances for GCW as part of a crossover show with another Mexican promotion, as well as deathmatch promotion Zona 23, but he would make dirt sheet headlines in 2018, and he would make these headlines for the absolute wrong reasons, because this is what took place, and why he was in the news.
Tenía preparado, oh, viene por unos tabiques y vaya que son grandes, así que esto ya pasando a ser de una lucha en donde estaban el ataúd y el alambre de púas y las sillas. ¡Oh, qué sillazo el que le está dando el cuervo a la cabeza del ángel demonio!
Durísimo.
¡Oh!
Le repite la dosis, no se puede esconder, no se puede hacer a un lado el ángel demonio. Todavía resentía el primer impacto y recibió el segundo. Mucha atención. Tiene 2 tabiques arriba. ¡Oh!
This match took place on the 19th of November 2018 on a G1/Lucha Memes, yes there is a promotion called Lucha Memes, /Lucha Libre Boom collaboration show. It was a casket death match between Angel and a Puerto Rican wrestler called Cuerno. As you saw from the footage, getting hit by that cinder block knocked Cuerno unconscious, and after staggering to his feet, he was rushed straight to hospital and he had to undergo emergency surgery in order to remove a blood clot from his brain, all caused by that right there. Thankfully the surgery was a success and he made a full recovery, but Demonio was widely condemned by the entirety of the wrestling world, with some very angry tweets towards his name. Kurt Angle particularly said, "Give me 10 seconds with that stupid MFer that threw the brick, shouldn't be anywhere near the business." Cuerno was suspended indefinitely from that state in Mexico from wrestling. However, he didn't really stop his wrestling career, and he did continue to wrestle pretty soon after the incident took place and on a regular basis across Mexico. And his career wasn't exactly too hurt, because it's not like he was getting booked for major promotions anyway. The final injuries in the end for Cuerno were a skull fracture and an epidural hematoma, if I said that right once again, and a benefit show was held for him to help pay back the money for all the medical fees and all that, which is very wholesome W. The name La Parka is a name that is synonymous within Lucha Libre. There's some history behind the name La Parka though, which I'm not gonna get all into right now, but basically, long story short, there's technically 2 La Parkas. There's La Parka and LA Park, who originally used the name and who we are talking about today. So for the sake of the video, we're going to call him La Parka. But like I said, this is LA Park, but we're just calling him La Parka, okay? But yes, LA Park, aka La Parka. He's a multi-time champion across promotions in Mexico, AAA, CMLL, WWA, and more. And La Parka is a guy who managed to cross over into America and the American markets. He worked for WCW back in the 90s, he worked for MLW in its early days, and he even returned to MLW as recently as 2018. Because in April 2018, La Parka returned to MLW. He would feud with Pentagon and Phoenix right out the gate, and himself and his son El Hijo de La Parka would challenge the Lucha Brothers for the MLW tag titles, but were unsuccessful. A few months later though, La Parka would win the 2019 Battle Royale and earn himself an MLW world title shot. Another match he was unsuccessful in though, as he lost to Jacob Fatu. In 2021 though, the Parkers would finally find some success in MLW as they won the MLW tag team titles. However, they only managed to defend the titles once successfully before they lost them to the 5150. And then you fast forward to April of 2022 though, where the Parkers have now been fired from MLW following a post-match incident. So what was being reported is that all 3 members of the Park family were fired from MLW following an incident from a TV taping in Dallas, Texas. Following a tag match that Alexander Hammerstone and Jacob Fatu won, the Parks ran into the ring and did a post-match beatdown, but apparently they got a bit too rough with the guys. Apparently they went into business for themselves and started throwing shoot punches and throwing reckless chair shots. By the end of it, both men needed medical attention due to being busted open. And obviously, like I said, the Parkers were fired following this incident. And yeah, unfortunately, the footage was never aired, hence why there's nothing being shown in the background before you start getting on my ass in the comments. The final incident to discuss today involves female wrestler La Enigmatica and male wrestler Black Skeller, who were both involved in opposing teams in a tag match on a show in Mexico. Credit as per usual goes to Blake0561 for the footage here, but as you can see from this footage here, Black Skeller is just chucking the girl about and seems as though something has gone on between the two, because Black Skeller can't seem to get away from her and is just constantly roughing her up in the match. And it all comes to a head when La Enigmatica is hit brutally with a chair shot to the head by Black Skeller.
Takes a few steps and Skeller fucking destroys her with a chair. Bro, we gotta see that again. He hit her so hard.
And it's at this moment, following getting hit by this chair shot straight to the head, that she lied motionless on the ground and began to convulse. She started to have a seizure. Other wrestlers and other fans had to come to her aid as there was genuine concern about what had just happened. La Enigmatica was taken to the hospital where she was treated for a concussion and multiple facial injuries, including a swollen right eye. Thankfully, she had recovered from her convulsions, and however, it was also found out though that she wasn't even scheduled to wrestle at this event, which makes it even more mad that someone did this to her. Black Skeller responded in an interview in Mexican news where he stated that the entire chair shot was planned and that she didn't know how to protect herself, and that's how the incident took place. And he doesn't seem the slightest bit remorseful for what happened.
Fue el señor Skeller. Quisiera usted decirnos qué fue lo que pasó en aquella lucha pues se puede decir una luchadora inexperta que la subieron con usted al ring.
Pues yo lo miré mal porque nosotros claro le dijimos a un compañero que no la subiera y la subió. Y ella era de acá, no tenía por qué haberse metido a nuestra área de trabajo.
Pero ¿cómo fue? O sea, ¿por qué terminó ella ahí en esa lucha? ¿Por qué empezó ella a luchar?
Pues es que la muchacha no tiene experiencia, es menor de edad y aparte no está preparada y no tiene licencia.
¿Pero usted sabía que ella no sabía luchar?
Yo no sabía.
¿No le habían dicho nada a usted?
Nada.
Porque, pues como yo he visto cuando vi ese video yo vi los comentarios y la gente decía, oye, pues ¿por qué se pone con una mujer? La gente que no sabe, la gente que no entiende la lucha libre, la cosa aquí es mixta, o sea, un hombre y una mujer se miden por igual arriba del ring.
Sí.
Pero nadie sabía eso, entonces me dice que usted tampoco sabía que ella no luchaba.
No, yo no sabía, yo nomás la miré una semana antes y la siguiente semana que pasó el problema. Pero yo...
La gente que lo veía, lo paraba o...
Sí, pues me paraba mucha gente. ¿Qué onda? Estoy el rey de la silla, oye, él le va a pagar a mi vieja.
In the end though, Enigmatica is luckily okay, thanks in part to the wrestling community who helped raise funds for her medical fees following the incident, and luckily she's okay, and hopefully these two are never in the same ring ever again.